What is up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to another absolute emergency edition of the show. Listen, I know it's the holidays. I'm literally here at the house, trying to enjoy a little downtime with Cassie, maybe drink some eggnog, relax by the tree, but you know how we operate. When the news breaks, we break it down. I don't care if it's Christmas, New Year's, or 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. If something happens that affects the black and gold, I am turning on this camera and getting it to you first. That is the level of dedication we bring to this channel, and frankly, you are not going to find that kind of obsession anywhere else on YouTube. This is fan-to-fan, heartbeat-to-heartbeat coverage, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Right now, I need you to smash that like button, share this video with every Steelers fan you know, and hit subscribe so we can keep dominating the news cycle together. The Lamar Jackson bombshell. Let's dive straight into the massive headline that is shaking up the entire AFC North right now. We talked about it yesterday, whispering about the possibility, but today we got the official word that changes everything. Lamar Jackson is officially listed as doubtful for Saturday's clash against the Green Bay Packers. Do you realize how huge this is? The Baltimore Ravens are in a do-or-die situation. They need to win this week to keep their division hopes alive. The math is simple but brutal for them. They have to win out, and they need us to lose out, just to sniff the postseason. And now, in the most critical week of their season, they are likely going to be without their MVP-caliber quarterback. Instead of the electric playmaking of Jackson, the Ravens are forced to turn to Tyler Snoop Huntley to save their season. We saw him finish the game last week against the Patriots, and let's be honest, the drop-off is significant. This isn't just a minor hurdle for Baltimore. This is a mountain. Without Lamar, their offense completely changes identity. The fear factor is gone. And for us, this is the best late Christmas present we could have asked for. If the Ravens drop this game on Saturday, the division title is practically gift-wrapped for Pittsburgh before we even step on the field against the Browns. The Green Bay quarterback chaos, but wait, it gets even weirder. This game on Saturday isn't just about who isn't playing for Baltimore. It's about the absolute chaos happening on the Green Bay sideline. We are looking at a potential battle of the backups that could decide the fate of the AFC North. Jordan Love? He's stuck in concussion protocol after that brutal hit against the Bears. Malik Willis? He's battling a shoulder injury and is also listed as questionable. So who does that leave? Ladies and gentlemen, we might be staring down the barrel of a Snoop Huntley versus Clayton Tune showdown. Yes, you heard me right. Clayton Tune. The guy currently sitting on their practice squad might be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers on Saturday night. If Love can't clear protocol and Willis can't get medical clearance for contact, Tune is the guy. Can you imagine the absolute insanity of the AFC North title coming down to a game decided by Clayton Tune and Snoop Huntley? If that scenario plays out, throw the passing game books out the window. This is going to become a slugfest. We are talking Josh Jacobs versus Derrick Henry, ground and pound, old school football. It's going to be a war of attrition in the trenches, and honestly, that variability makes this game even more stressful to watch. The new signing, Trey Flowers now. Let's get to the news that actually came out of the Steelers front office today. While we were all watching the injury reports, the Steelers quietly made a move that signals some serious concern in the defensive backfield. The Pittsburgh Steelers have officially signed veteran cornerback Trey Flowers. Now, before you look at the stats and shrug, let's look at the context. Flowers has been around the block. He's played for the Seahawks, the Jaguars, the Lions. He is a battle-tested veteran in this league. He knows NFL systems, he has length, and he brings a physical presence that we like. But why make this move now? Why bring in a guy on Christmas Day and put him straight onto the active roster? This move tells me one thing loud and clear. The coaching staff is terrified about the status of Brandon Echols. If Echols was healthy, or even if there was a good chance he could suit up against the Browns, you don't make this move. You definitely don't burn a roster spot on a veteran unless you are desperate for insurance. If they thought Echols was 50-50, maybe they stash Flowers on the practice squad. But putting him on the 53-man roster immediately? That is a red alert. It tells me that Brandon Echols is likely out, and Calvin Austin III is probably sitting right there next to him on the inactive list. The secondary shuffle. Who plays the slot? So, where does Trey Flowers fit? I don't expect him to come in off the street and start. That would be suicidal. I see him as the emergency big nickel option. The plan, I assume, is to have Jalen Ramsey slide into that nickel role. We know Ramsey is elite anywhere you put him, and he has been the primary backup for Eccles in the slot whenever injuries strike. The domino effect there is that you'd have Chuck Clark and Kyle Duggar holding down the safety spots while Ramsey patrols the inside. But here is the nightmare scenario we have to discuss. Jalen Ramsey was not at practice today. He's listed with an illness. Now, usually, illness means a guy misses a day, drinks some fluids, and is back by Friday. But if this is the flu, if this lingers, we could be in serious trouble. If Ramsey can't go and Eccles is out, who on earth is playing slot corner in a game that matters? Do we trust Asante Samuel Jr. inside? He hasn't played much slot in his NFL career. He's been strictly an outside guy since arriving in Pittsburgh, but he has the body type for it. He's smaller, shiftier, kind of has that jitterbug quickness that Eccles possesses. Maybe, just maybe, the coaching staff is looking at Samuel and thinking he can transition inside for 1 week. But that brings us to the question of the day, and I want to see your answers down in the comment section right now. If Jalen Ramsey is unable to play on Sunday, would you trust Asante Samuel Jr. to take over the slot corner role, or would you rather see the veteran Trey Flowers thrown into the fire despite only being on the team for 3 days? Let me know what you think below. Personally, the idea of a guy learning the playbook on a Wednesday, starting on a Sunday terrifies me, but Samuel playing out of position isn't much better. It is a genuine dilemma. Injury roundup and final thoughts before I let you guys get back to your families. We have to touch on the other big names on the injury report. It wasn't just the secondary that took a hit. TJ Watt was limited in practice again today. Isaac Sumalo, Nick Herbig, and James Pierre, all limited. Now, I'm not hitting the panic button on TJ just yet. We know how the Steelers operate late in the season. They are managing reps. They are preserving bodies. If the Ravens lose on Saturday and we clinch the division before kickoff, I fully expect Mike Tomlin to put these guys in bubble wrap. There is zero reason to risk TJ Watt or Isaac Sumalo in a meaningless game if the division title is already sitting in our locker. However, if the Ravens win, that changes everything. Then it's all hands on deck. But knowing Tomlin, he is going to be incredibly cautious. He's not going to risk a long-term disaster for a short-term gain unless absolutely necessary. So, here's the plan for the weekend. We are going into full watch party mode. On Saturday night, we are going live for the Ravens versus Packers game. We are going to be the biggest Packers fans on the planet. If the Ravens lose, we are popping champagne and celebrating an AFC North championship right there on the stream. You do not want to miss that energy. And then, regardless of what happens Saturday, we will be live again on Sunday for Steelers versus Browns. We promised you we would be here for every single snap of the season, and we keep our promises. Thank you so much for tuning in on Christmas. It means the world to me. We've got gifts, we've got signings, and we've got a division title to chase. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, stay safe, and as always, here we go, Steelers.